Well, good evening, children of the night. It's your resident vampire preacher. I had a couple of things on my mind lately that I wanted to share with you tonight. And everybody knows the purpose of these videos are for me to talk about depression and how it affects my life. And hopefully people learn from that and helps them adjust things in their own life. I've actually had quite a few people let me know that that's exactly how these things affect them. So I was at my therapist's office the other day, and it was the last appointment with this particular therapist. She was moving on to a different place, getting her own practice going, and so they were setting me up. I sit down with the receptionist, getting an appointment set up, and the receptionist and I start talking about. I said something about motorcycles, and she mentioned the fact that her husband had bought a motorcycle, and she was always afraid of him. So he gets the thing, turns off the motor, and sneaks the sucker into the garage, so she didn't know that it was there when he first bought it. And as we start talking, we talk about how many people suffer from depression, and a lot of people don't realize it because it's this. I always state that there's a commercial out there that you might recognize this from, and it's when the people have that sign, that little mask in front of them with the smiley face. You know, um, I had probably, three psychologists in a 2 week period recently told me that they said I am the most confusing person they've ever met. They said they meet me, I'm laughing, I'm joking, I'm talking, having a great time. They said, but on paper, they said I should probably be hospitalized. They said I'm one of the most depressed people they've ever seen. And I told them, I said, I wear that mask. When I'm out and about talking to people, I got to still function in life, even though I'm dealing with the crap that goes on in here. Millions of you out there doing the same damn thing, aren't you? Yeah, one of the best videos I've seen in a long time was the singer from Disturbed was in concert. I'll share this video later. I'll reshare it from my Facebook account. And he's talking about suicide, and he's talking about depression, how many people it affects. And he asked, how many people out here has been touched by depression or suicide? And damn near every hand in the audience of 20,000 people went up. And he says, look around. He says, you're never alone. And that touched me, that hit me, because I was talking to this receptionist, and when she mentioned her husband's motorcycle, then I find out that within a year of having it, he was killed riding that motorcycle. She's got 5 children. She's raising them by herself, and she said, she felt bad because on her way to work, she's screaming, yelling at the kids to hurry it up so that they're not late for school. She gets to work, she gets out, guess what happens? She didn't even think about that. She said, that's just what happens. And so, as I was sharing my story with her, a lot of shit's gone on in my life, man. Let me tell you. Starting in the beginning of 2016, lost my dad in January. My brother commits suicide in May of the same year. I get cancer in 2020. My mother passes away of Alzheimer's in 2021. And now I'm going through a marriage breakup. Shit happens in life. It's okay though. We have to learn how to deal with it. Okay. Yes, it's going to depress some of us. We just need to find a way of dealing with it. So I tell her my story. She's telling me hers. I'm thinking, my God, your story's a hell of a lot worse than me as far as I could see. And then I tell her about a woman that I worked with that, she had 10 years ago, her daughter was murdered right in front of the house. She was 8 years old. A few months ago, they got her other daughter out of the Hudson River, was killed. Her life was even worse. I don't know if you're following where I'm going, but there's always somebody out there whose life is worse than ours. Now, does that make our situations any better? Hell no. But you know what? It's something we need to remember. And for those of you out there who suffer from suicidal tendencies, I want you to know, always remember there's others out there that are worse than you are, and they survive, they make it. You put the fucking gun down, you don't take those pills, you give yourself a few days, you think about it, and you're going to realize that it doesn't have to happen. I've almost been there, even recently, but you know what? We got to remember that there's a tomorrow. There was a yesterday, hell yeah, but there's also a tomorrow. Tomorrows are not always as bad as yesterday. God bless you guys. You know, it's been a while since I've been able to just really sit here and talk, and I'm sorry. As you know, cancer driving me fucking mouth down. At work tonight, I went in early. I normally work 10 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. Tonight I work 6 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. We had a retirement party for one of our coworkers. Went out to the restaurant, had some good seafood and all. Went back. One of my Albanian friends there is a supervisor as well. Had some rake, R-A-K-A-I. Look it up if you want to. It's Albanian moonshine. And I don't drink that much anymore, as most of you guys know, but I took a couple of shots. Went back to my desk in my office. Sitting there, next thing I know, it's 2:35 in the morning, and I should have already left. And on my way home, I passed right out. That stuff kicked my ass. So those of us at the Oath and Iron Clubhouse, we keep it there every now and then when I get it bottled, but we don't refer to it as rake. We refer to it as Albanian toilet water. This happens to be whiskey, though. God bless you guys. Remember, somebody's always in a worse spot than you are, and there's always a tomorrow. And the sun does come up tomorrow, and it will shine its light on you.